everyone, it's Ann from Anneliese's Creations. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. It's been kind of chilly here in California. We're getting another storm coming in, which is good. We need the rain, but my body doesn't like it. So within the last 3 days, I've probably had a total of about 5 hours of sleep, which is not good because it doesn't help the pain levels, but you know, such is life. And I've been brainstorming as to what to do next on my channel. And so I've decided to start an altered card, you know, playing card. But it's not your typical altered cards. Now most people think, altered card, you know, they think, oh great, not another altered card series. This is going to be different. I've done my homework, I've looked on Pinterest, and I've seen just a few people do on their blogs certain things like this, but not exactly like how I'm going to do it. And I checked YouTube, and I haven't really come across anyone that has done anything like this yet on YouTube. So I've decided I'm going to go ahead and do it. Now you're going to wonder, well, what is that? Tell me. Well, as you watch the video, and right now I'm narrating because I didn't quite like what I was saying initially on this, but I'm going to get started. And as you can see, I'm taking some sandpaper. It's kind of a fairly light sandpaper. It's fine sandpaper, and I've just roughed up the card. And now I'm going to get some white gesso to put on it, and I'm using a baby wipe to wipe it off. So I'm going to continue with this and enjoy the process, and you will find out what this is all about. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and basically, if all goes well with this first introduction to my altered card series, I would like to start a Facebook group regarding this and possibly doing swaps regarding what I'm doing. I'm not telling you yet, so stay tuned. Keep watching, please. Don't give up. So I'm coming in with some gesso. It's the Deco Art Media line gesso, and as you can see, I've walked away from the camera for a minute because I have rearranged my art room, and I had taken my paint brushes off my craft table temporarily because I'm trying to reorganize everything and wasn't quite prepared with the paintbrush, so I have to apologize for that. So I'm just adding the gesso on, and from there, let's see, we'll see what the next step is, won't we? I wanted to also mention that if you don't have time to watch the whole video right now, there is a button that you can push somewhere on the YouTube channel. I don't know exactly where on my video, but you can add this video to your watch later list. And so if you don't have time right now to watch it, the whole thing, I would appreciate it if you put it on your watch later list. That way you can come back to it and watch the whole thing. And that hopefully you will comment about this, your interest in possibly participating and joining the Facebook group. If I get enough interest in this and everyone seems on board, those of you that are interested will join the Facebook group. That would be awesome. So I'm going to start. Keep watching. Thanks. I'm going to use some craft paints today by Americana. I'm going to start with the Boysenberry Pink, and I'm going to use my finger to smear it on, all right, because I want it kind of on the edges. So I'm using my finger. I like using my finger for this technique here because I just like to. I didn't, when I first started doing mixed media, I didn't like getting messy. I'm kind of like an OCD person in some ways, but since I have had fibromyalgia, my OCD has kind of gone out the window because I just don't have the energy anymore to keep things extremely clean and organized 100%. So it's kind of gone out the window. So having said that too, you know, the same thing goes for my art here. And I just, of course, my phone rings as soon as I turn on the camera. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. All right, and I did add the boysenberry pink, and then I went in with some bubblegum pink by Americana. Okay, and I'm just kind of going around here, mixing it in. Okay, and you're probably wondering, okay, Ann, this doesn't look any different than I've seen other people do. No, because you'll see what I'm going to do next. This is the fun part. I have to apologize. I've been running into some technical difficulty with my camera. It keeps shutting off on me. I think I might need a new battery. Anyhow, this is, it's going to be an altered playing card doll. So what I did was I had already taken some Bristol paper and drew out the head, and then I used some Faber-Castell pens, Pitt pens, to add color to the face and to draw out her face. So I do apologize. And then I cut out some glasses out of a magazine. So you'll see the rest of it in a minute. Alright, so I cut out these glasses, alright, from a magazine, and I fussy cut out the lenses because they were sunglasses. And I'm going to put them here, but this side kind of came unglued a little bit, so I'm going to see if I can somehow glue that back together afterwards, but I first want to add a little more details to the hair here. I'm going to add, let's see, first off I wanted to kind of blend in here. So far, okay, and then I'm going to glue this together. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Let's see if some of this will work, because it may work once I get the backing put on here. Oh dear. Oh my, okay. Alright, so there's the head, okay, and I'm not quite ready to glue that head on yet, okay, because I need to do the arms and the legs, alright? So you'll see me alter these as well. Or I probably will glue those on first. So I'm going to use it for a pattern here, the legs, okay? First I'm going to cut them out. What I like about these altered dolls is that you can use all kinds of little leftover pieces from things, bits and bobs of things that you have left over in your, around the house to alter the doll's legs and things. Okay, so that's a fun thing that you could use these for, okay? So I'm going to cut this piece out because I don't know how. I want to show the address here. So let me see how she did it. Okay. Just going to cut the part of this out. So you could use Happy Mail, you could use jelly printed papers, lace, leftover material for the dress maybe on the doll itself, on the card itself. This time I used paint and modeling paste, but you could use all kinds of different things for this. And as I progress with this, things will get a little more elaborate, I think, once I get the hang of what I'm doing down. So I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to use this as my pattern. So I'm going to trace around the legs. Okay, and do the same thing on this side. Now you could joint these, make them jointed by adding brads to where like the knees would be. You could do that. You could add, so that the legs are movable as well as to the arms. All right, and I'll show an example of that in my next altered card, which will be next week. So my plan is to do this once a week, and if I get enough people, enough views for this, and enough likes and things, that I may start a Facebook group regarding these dolls, and then we can do swaps. We can swap our cards. So yeah, I think that would be a really good idea. What do you think? Please post a comment down at the bottom. I really would appreciate it. Because it would be fun. And then, eventually we might do something else with altered cards. So just please post. Whoops, I cut the leg too short on that one. Darn it. Okay, where's the other leg I had? Wait a minute. What am I doing, Anne? What are you doing? This is the leg. This is this leg. Okay. Doing it wrong. And when I cut them out, they're going to be reversed, I think. So I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to do this. It kind of looks like a finger I'm cutting out instead of a leg, but that's okay. All right, let's see how these are going to look. A little off. Okay, that's not working for me. All right. Not working for me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it like this. So I'm going to glue those down. I'm going to use some Anneliese's tacky glue for that, but first I need to do the arms next. And I'm going to have to trace out another arm on this side. So I'm just kind of guesstimating where I'm going to have that arm start. So what is my... Of course, I'm never organized, am I? All right. Cut this one out, then I'm going to flip it over and make another one, another arm. I got to cut it kind of long enough so that I can glue this behind, and I need hands too. Hang on. I do need hands. This way. Okay, so I'll have two hands. All right, so I'm going to flip this one over opposite way. Worried about the pen showing, okay, the edges of the pen that I used, because it's going to be, you know, okay, her arms are way too long, so I can cut this edge off a little bit more. So let's eyeball and see how short I want the arms. So I want them about there. Okay, so I'm going to trim off, eyeball here how much I need to trim off. So I want to trim off that much. So I'm going to do the same with this hand, or arm I should say. All right, so I've done that, but now what I'm going to do is, before I glue on all the pieces, okay, I want to add sleeves to that, and because what I'm going to add to that is kind of thin, I want to make sure that, you know, so I'm going to glue on some of my deli printed paper for the arms. You could use Mod Podge, or like I'm going to use my matte medium by Deco Art to glue these down. All right. So that's down now, and then I'll outline the arms and everything and the legs later with probably with a Posca pen. Now, here's the other arm. So here's the one. All right, so we're going to do this first. I'm going to glue these down. I'm going to use some Anneliese's tacky glue. Okay, whoops. So I'm going to glue my Anneliese's, the nozzle got all clogged, and so I cut too much of the nozzle off. So now it's like, okay. So I'm going to use a brush I can use for glue. I'm not concerned about. On there, make so sure that it will stick properly. Okay, and then I'm going to take the arms, and I'm going to do the same with the arms. I'm going to glue those on, but I kind of have to eyeball where I'm going to put the glue. Okay, so I want it kind of like that. Okay, So I'm just kind of guessing where I'm going to put this glue here. In hopes that it stays and sticks. Come on, stick, please, please stick. Okay, there we go. All right, and then I'm going to do the same with this arm. Bit shorter than the other, and I'm not too concerned because it just gives it character. They don't have to be perfect. That's what makes them cute, I think, is the imperfection of them. All right, you ever have one of those mornings where things just don't go your way? I'm having one of those mornings. Sorry about that, guys. My memory card got full. I should have looked at it before I put it into my camera this morning, so I ran out of memory, but I hope that it showed this part that I was gluing on, and I said that it doesn't have to be perfect. If one arm's a little shorter than the other, it doesn't matter because that's what gives these dolls character, all right? Yeah, so they don't have to be perfect. I think it gives them more character. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue on the legs, all right? And I'm kind of making this like a short dress, making it look like it's a short dress. So I'm going to put them down under like this. So I'm going to kind of lightly mark it with a Posca pencil, with my Stabilo Alt pencil, not Posca pen. So I'm going to make it right about there. Okay. So that's where I'm going to put the glue. Whoops, I've got my little patch of glue that I put on my work pip area and almost put the doll in it. Back in it. So I'm going to do that one there. I'm going to do this one here, like this. Okay, kind of like that. See it? All right. And I'm not quite done yet because I want to add some other things to this to make it a little prettier and nicer looking, all right? So what I do is I have these leftover pieces of, you've seen me do my drop papers before, where I've punched out flowers from my drop papers, as well as, you know, just little bits and pieces left over from other projects. So I want to add kind of a trim to her dress. So I'm going to add that here, okay? And I am covering up some of the modeling paste, and I don't mind that. It doesn't matter. Okay. So I'm going to turn it over and just eyeball where I'm going to cut this off at. All right. And then I'm going to have to put plenty of glue down to make sure that it adheres, all right? And this is where it's going to give, you know, some character to the doll as well by decorating the top front of it, all right, of the card. And I put too much glue down, and that's okay because I'm going to wipe off the excess, okay? And it's going to dry clear anyways, so I'm not too concerned about how much I put down because I want to make sure that that glues down really well. All right, and if there's excess glue, I'm going to wipe it with a baby wipe here. My hands are sticky now, full of glue. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the excess here and here. There we go. All right, now I'm going to come in and I'm going to add some more little bits and things here because it's still not quite done to me. So I always have leftover pieces of ribbons and lace and, you know, all kinds of things left over. So I always I keep those things. So I could put that over here, and I know it's covering my words that I had written down, and that's okay. It doesn't matter. I can probably include them later on somewhere else. Okay. I even have some of this really cool sequin stuff I got at a garage sale. I like that a lot. But I'm not sure if I want that down there today. Okay, so let's see what else I have. I've got all kinds of things I could use. Kind of like that. Or I might put that on the edges of her. Yeah, I like that on her sleeves. Glue, dry clear, so I'm not concerned about it being on there kind of goopy. It doesn't matter because it's going to dry clear. All right. Now I like this I got this cool vintage lace at a antique shop that I'm going to use some of that over here. I like that a lot, so I'm going to add that to the bottom half like this. Okay. I'm just going to add some glue along there, but I think I'm going to use a brush for that again. So now I'm going to add some shoes, okay, to the bottom of her dress, her shoes. And I'm going to outline with a Posca pen. Okay, so there are her shoes. Right, and then I'm going to outline with the Posca pen around these areas once I'll come back and do most of them once they're dry. I'm going to do the legs first because they're pretty much dry here. And I do like to add, of course, I always like to add some kind of bling. I would consider my trademark in some ways to a lot of my stuff, my art. I like to add bling. I always like to add some kind of bling to it, okay? But today I think I'm going to add, let's see if I can find those too, because I've got others here. I like adding my bling. Here we go, yes. Okay, that didn't stay, so I'm going to have to glue it down. Getting it in the glue. And this is just the beginning. This is really simple. As I go along, these dolls are going to get a little more elaborate. So this is just one way of doing them. I hope that you'll join me next week for the next one. Actually, not next week, but the week after, probably, will be when I put the next video up. Because I just remembered I have another commitment at the moment. Okay, so there's that. I think I might add a little bit of bling, more bling. Not her shoes. I'm going to add a little purple. next step is I'm going to outline the rest of these sleeves and everything with the Posca pen. And before I do that, actually, I need to color her hands in. So I'm going to use the Pitt pen. If I can find it, is this the one? Nope, that's medium flesh. I need light flesh. Where'd you go? Light flesh. Here it is. I buried it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and color in the hands. And I'm not minding that the Stabilo all pencil kind of got in there because they move around because they're water soluble, but these are Indian ink, and I'm not too concerned. I'm not worried about the hand being a little bit lighter than the other because I can wipe it off. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wipe it off and come back in with that one a little lighter. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. And now I'm going to outline with a Posca pen. You don't have to outline if you don't want to. I'm just doing it so things pop out a little more. Outline the head if I wanted to too, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to outline the head. Just to add a little bit more depth. This is red ink, but it doesn't matter because it'll kind of blend in anyways with the pink. I'm just going to go along the edges with my finger. Just add a little bit of depth to around the edges of the card, which I probably should have done before I glued the arms on, but I'm not too concerned because I could do the same with the arms. I could add a little more color to the arms by doing that with my finger. I kind of like adding some texture to the card, a little more texture. Which I probably should have done in the beginning, but I didn't, so that's okay. So that's what she looks like, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this little series that I've started and that you'll come back next time. And thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you next time, and I hope that you'll make comments down below as to whether you would like to see this as a Facebook group where you could trade your card dolls along with everyone else, with other people. So if you do, please add a comment, and in the next video I will let you know if we've started that group or not. Alright, so thanks for watching, everyone. Toodles, have a wonderful day. Bye.